This year's National Day Parade not only celebrated Singapore's independence, it also commemorated the country's bicentennial. With the theme Our Singapore, the parade started by showcasing the contributions of ordinary Singaporeans and organisations. Gwyneth with the highlights.
The evening celebrations were off to a flying start, with red lions free-falling from 10,000 feet. And as a tribute to the pioneer batch, they performed a ring formation. To commemorate Singapore's bicentennial, there were these 8 special floats, representing organisations which started in the 1800s and have contributed to the country's development. Among the new contingents that took part in this year's parade were volunteers from the Armed Forces and Home Team. These volunteers are typically first-generation permanent residents, new citizens or women. They participated as a supporting contingent, representing military and civil defence. The supporting contingents included Nanyang Polytechnic and local bubble tea chain Liho, both groups marching for the first time. And as President Halimah Yacob inspected the Guard of Honour contingent, a gun salute was fired from a floating raft at nearby Marina Bay. It is also the first time a combined drum band was featured at the parade. It comprised students from the Association for Persons with Special Needs Tanglin School, the Singapore Armed Forces Band, and the Singapore National Cadet Corps Command Band.
Here's a cop!
As Singaporeans, we are celebrating our 200 years of history as one nation. That's the best about this NDP.
First time for me, so we've only just moved to Singapore. It's brilliant, love it.
All these people marching by is the most, because it shows the discipline and how they train so hard over the weeks and months. So that's something which I really appreciate.
This year's parade was also attended by heads of state from Singapore's neighbouring countries.
The parade also featured a showcase of Singapore's military strength. With the mobile column display, it involved 171 assets from the Armed Forces, Police Force and Civil Defence Force. And this year marked the mobile column's 50th anniversary since it first appeared at the Padang during the NDP. Ariel reports.
The man who appeared in the first mobile column in 1969 led the way in this year's display. Brigadier General retired Colin Teixeira was part of that column, which comprised just 18 tanks. 2 assets made their first ever appearance in the parade: the Hunter Armoured Fighting Vehicle, Singapore's first fully digital military vehicle, and the Republic of Singapore Air Force's new missile system, the Ester 30.
The stately, well-ordered display happening behind me along the Padang was no simple feat. The 1.3-kilometre-long column took over 120,000 hours to rehearse and prepare for, and more than 1,000 people were involved.
The display lasted nearly 15 minutes, 171 assets, including 79 types of equipment. According to the Defence Ministry, the first 3 parts of the display showcase the armed forces' readiness to defend Singapore's sovereignty, contributions to regional and global security, and how the armed forces and the home team work together to ensure the country's security. But the last part of the display got everyone on their feet, as servicemen from the Merdeka generation rolled in.
I like the portion where they call back the Merdeka generation servicemen who come back and let us thank them for the glory and honor they have done for the country.
They are saluting us. I feel proud. Thank you, Singapore.
My favorite part was the Bronco because I drove that during NS, so that was kind of cool to see it again.
For those who didn't get a chance to get up close to the display, the mobile column display will make its way to 5 of Singapore's heartland sites on Saturday: Jurong East, Woodlands, Bishan, Punggol and Geylang Serai.
The later stages of the show featured the largest prop in the parade's history. Also, for the first time, there were fireworks at the nearby Singapore River. And there was a unique rendition of the national anthem. Ariel Lim with more.
As the sun started to set, 8 puppets moved onto the stage in the style of traditional shadow puppetry. They were accompanied by 4 groups of dancers, symbolizing the official races. The groups danced separately at first, before coming together to showcase Singapore's multicultural heritage. To bring out the message of conquering challenges, 4 Singaporeans featured in a short film.
Japanese are very, very scary.
They included an ex-offender and a war survivor as they shared tales of how they overcame their struggles. And as they told their stories, a rousing drum performance wove through.
Nobody said it was easy.
Before one of the cast, a musician with a condition that threatens his voice, appeared. The audience then became part of the show as their LED wristbands lit up to the beat of the drums.
To stand up for ourselves.
The voices of Singapore's pioneers then rang through the grounds before close to 900 children and youth dressed as mini lions swarmed onto the stage. These pioneers of the future danced and formed well-known landmarks like the super trees, showing progress and growth. The youth and their peers comprise 85% of all performers this year, the highest in a decade. The show hit a peak as the futuristic lion puppet made its entrance. The 6-meter-tall prop is the largest in the parade's history. And that led to this year's theme song. It comprises verses sung by 27 artists representing different generations. And as the night came to a close, NDP songs from yesteryear then filled the Padang, the young and old singing in unison. Before the grand finale,
Last part of the show, stand up for Singapore!
But I think it's the national songs that gel the whole nations together.
and for the first time in the parade's history, fireworks lit up the skies at the Singapore River.